Imagine you're juggling a dozen flaming torches. Every task in your inbox feels urgent, and you're convinced only you can put out the fires. But here's the catch. You're not a one-person circus. In today's episode, we'll show you how to hand off those torches without dropping a single flame so you can lead with clarity, amplify your team's strengths, and finally reclaim your time. Are you ready? Hey everyone, John here. 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 Welcome to the Leaders Leading Leaders podcast. Hey everyone, John here. Welcome to today's episode. In this episode, we are going to discuss why delegation is your secret weapon to scalable leadership. In one of my early businesses, I hired some people, I had systems and processes in place, I delegated tasks, and guess what? I ended up doing everything anyways. One, I didn't trust the people to do it the way that I wanted it to get done. And two, I was delegating the wrong tasks. So if you're in that boat, today we're going to discuss some strategies and then some applications for you to get out of the I do everything game and get into the delegation game so you can gain some time freedom. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is identifying those tasks that you can delegate. And here, not every task is created equal. What I used to do was I'd do my to-do list, I'd create a task list, and I would take the top 5 and then delegate the rest. That's where I was going wrong. One, some of those bottom tasks required my attention. So you need to understand and establish clarity on which tasks require your attention. So John, how do you do that? Well, a couple different ways. One, I conduct a task audit. This is a simple exercise. I normally do mine on Friday afternoons. It's a little bit less crowded. My schedule's a little more open. I set aside 60 to 90 minutes, set a timer, dedicate yourself to this. No task is too big and no task is too small. Do a brain dump, put it all on paper. Then what I want you to do, once you have everything on the paper there, I want you to rate each task by impact, 1 to 5, 1 being low impact, 5 being high impact, and then comfort, 1 being low comfort, 5 being high comfort. Then you're going to take that list, the tasks that you have identified as high impact, low comfort, those are prime for delegation. Those are going to allow you time freedom. Checking your inbox. This is an example. I used to think that I was the only one that could respond to my inbox. Guess what? That's false. My inbox is nothing but a to-do list and tasks and a lot of replies or CCs. For me, that was something that I delegated my inbox to, and I never went back. Now, there are some emails that require my attention, but those were far and few between. That task is high impact for me and low comfort. I don't like to get in my inbox. It's a time waster because I got to filter through all the emails that I don't need to respond to just to get to the ones that I do need to respond to that require my attention. So this task audit is going to lay all those things out for you and identify those things that you can delegate. The second application here to identify what to delegate is defining boundaries. And in my journal this morning, when I was crafting the outline for this podcast, I said, create a do not delegate list. There are inherent things within your business, final approvals, like a budget. If you're the final one, I don't have to be involved in all the budget conversations, but I want the final approval. Another one that I wrote down here, any type of sensitive information. So if I got to have a conversation with somebody or it's a performance review, those are inherent leadership responsibilities that I need to keep. Now, what this does is it prevents me from over-delegating anything that is a do not delegate responsibility. And what it does is it preserves my leadership responsibility. Because when you start handing some of these things that the boss should be doing, that's when you can create some culture problems where now you're playing favoritism, especially if you don't have a designated second in command and you're just doing it for a team lead or someone in the team. People can start looking at that as favoritism. So right now, create a list. Do not delegate. Those are off the board. Those are inherently yours, but I want you to be honest with yourself. They need to be things that only you can do. So that one, identify what tasks actually need to delegate. That is the first step when it comes to delegation. The second one, who do we choose? How do we know who to delegate these tasks to? And something I just got to throw out there, because a lot of people think that delegation means I'm dumping tasks on people. I'm taking tasks from the manager, the leader, the business owner, and I'm dumping them on somebody else. That's a myth. Do not believe it, because if you believe it, they're going to believe it. Whoever you choose to delegate those tasks to, they're just going to think, oh, John's just dumping what he doesn't want to do again on me. Have you been there? I've been the one that got dumped on, and it wasn't any fun. So if you've been in that spot, you know what it feels like. So again, delegation isn't dumping. And then the second part here, what delegation is it is strategic empowerment. I want you to match the tasks with the strengths and interests of the people on your team. So how do you do that, John? Well, here you go. Skill interest mapping. Great activity. What I like to do is maintain this skills inventory for my team. And this is something that came from my training background. When we go in and we do an analysis on what needs to be trained and who needs to be trained, that information, we do a skills assessment. And so you go in and you just simply ask what skills, what are your strengths, and then what are your interests? What interests you? Some people love project management. Some people love numbers, budget. They love crunching numbers. Some people love Excel. I really don't understand that because, to be very honest, Excel is foreign language to me, but some people love it. That is something that you need to know, because if you have a task that you want a spreadsheet created and it needs to have pivot tables and graphs and charts and all this other kind of stuff, guess what? You better figure out who on your team or who in your company loves Excel spreadsheets. So again, this skill interest mapping is going to go a long way when you identify those tasks that you can delegate, and then it's going to give you somebody to delegate it to, and it's going to map it to their strengths and what interests them. Powerful when it comes to getting things done and moving things to the finish line. I want to take a quick break from the episode today to talk about a couple things. The first thing, less than 40% of our listeners are subscribed to our channel. You would be doing me a huge favor if you click on that subscribe button. It helps us grow our Go Be Great community and get this podcast out to as many people as we possibly can. The second thing, are you a small business owner that is drowning in the day-to-day operations? You're delegating tasks and you're still doing all the work. You're experiencing a high turnover. Maybe you don't have the systems and processes in place that you need to run a successful business. I invite you to go over to thejohnespinosa.com, check out our live events, and sign up for our coaching program. Fill out the form to see if you're the right fit. Now back to the episode. Another one, pilot assignments. This is something that I like to do and challenge people. So give them a low impact, low risk task and just see how they do. This is a way that I like to create kind of corporate or tribal knowledge within the group. So if there's somebody that may be overloaded, that's your go-to person. That high in skill, high in interest, that's your go-to person. They're overloaded. They're overwhelmed. Their plate is full. Actually, it's over full. So find something that you can delegate to somebody that is a low-risk task and just see how they do. People will surprise you. I've been surprised more often than not when I hand over a task and they're like, John trusts me. He trusts me with this task because normally Jen's doing it and now I get it. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to knock this one out of the park. And that is what happens. It surprises you. And now what you've done is you've increased your bench strength. Now you got a backup that you never knew you had. So when I talk about pilot assignments, this is very powerful, and just start small. But you'll be surprised. People will hit a home run and you didn't know that they were a home run hitter. So choosing the right person is just as important as figuring out what task to delegate. And then the last one here, communicate and follow up. Communicate and follow up. Let me just say that again. These are things that, again, when leaders, we delegate and then we just walk out the door, right? Or we delegate and there's no follow up. And then we get something back. We get the deliverable back. We get the report back, whatever, we've asked them to do. And it is wrong. It's terrible. It's nothing like we thought or we asked for it to get done. Why? Because we weren't clear in the beginning and we didn't follow up. So one of the things here, delegation thrives on clear communication and then support throughout the process. Now let me pause there because some of you are thinking, yeah, I'm going to delegate this task, then I'm going to make them give me a report every single day. That's not what I'm saying here, Go Be Great community. Listen, support means making sure that they have the necessary resources, they're on the right track, doesn't mean micromanagement. So what are some techniques and some applications that you can ensure that you're communicating and follow up? Schedule regularly check-ins. Regular check-ins are a way for you just to get a pulse check on how the project's going. Are there any challenges? Are you getting the support you need? How can I support you better? And I would create this up front to where there are 2 to 3 milestones, depending on how big the project is or how long the duration. Schedule those milestones for them to check in with you, put it on your calendars. That way it's visible, it's out front, and it sets up those mini deadlines that create a sense of urgency, because if we don't set deadlines, things will just go on forever and ever. So it creates a sense of urgency and it allows you to have that conversation to make sure everybody's on the right page and the project is progressing how it should be. And then another way here, and this is just something that I do naturally, and once you implement it, it's going to be something that is continuously done, but it's a feedback loop. After the project, you've heard like an after action report. After the project is completed, simply get some feedback. What went well? What would you have done differently? How could I have supported you better? What information did you need that you didn't have at the beginning of the project? This is all going to go towards helping you be better at delegating. Because again, when you hand off those tasks, make sure that it's not dumping on them. And then 2, be very clear, create that clarity up front about milestone check-ins and what the end deliverable needs to look like. I hope this helped somebody struggling with delegation, because I see it more than I think other items within a business. And business owners, entrepreneurs, team leads, bosses out there that struggle with delegation will never be able to take a sick day, will never be able to step away from the operation. 1, they don't trust others to do the work. And 2, the work's not going to get done because people haven't been empowered enough to even know how to do the work, much less you being able to give them work. So there's a lot of things that delegation can alleviate. I truly believe that it is our superpower when it comes to scaling our leadership ability. So last but not least, remember, so to wrap up, make sure that you identify the tasks that can be delegated, choose the right person to get the job done, and then communicate and follow up. I promise you that's going to be a rock solid way to get you more time freedom and to make sure that things are getting done. I believe in you. Go be great. Talk to everyone later. Bye-bye. If you like what you're hearing, do us a favor, click on that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, or leave a comment. That lets us know that what we are putting out benefits you. If you want additional information or resources or learn how to work with me, head on over to thejohnespinosa.com, because when we become better versions of ourselves, it helps us get others to where they're going. Go be great. Talk to everyone later.